is Lauren Spear, and you're listening to the HorrorFam.com podcast. Today, I have someone that you may recognize from Twitter as at HeyaNew or at mutant_fam, and he is the founder of mutantfam.com. His name is Frank in real life, and not to be confused with my husband Frank of horrorfam.com. This is my online cousin Frank from mutantfam.com. He runs a website that it started out as sort of a gathering spot for people who watch The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, but it's quickly growing into even more. And welcome, Frank. How you doing?
Thank you. That's a very fair assessment, because it's hard to kind of describe what it's turning into. So I appreciate that intro. That was pretty spot on. I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you very much for asking.
Of course. And just to kind of throw a label on what you were trying to say, it's turning more into a venue is what I like to think of it as, a location to throw events. So like if you want to throw a live tweet, or you want to do a Q&A, or even if you want to do like a product release, like if the Joe Bob fanzine wanted to do a big party for issue 6, we would coordinate it and throw it through the site, if that makes sense.
It does make sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to the listeners as well. You guys recently had a live tweeting event last Friday, on Friday the 13th.
Absolutely. And that was our biggest event by far. Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy, Diana Prince, they came and did that live stream where they would have done it on their own already. I didn't plan it with them. Diana Prince threw out a tweet a few weeks ago saying that they were going to do it. And then I DM'd her and said, hey, how are you going to do this? And she had some ideas, and she was very receptive to my ideas. And she was super open to doing it, hosting it through the site. And I couldn't be more grateful because, I mean, let's be real. She was doing me more of a favor than I was doing for her. But I ended up helping tremendously, making the promo material for it and being totally available on Twitter, answering questions. And like the coolest part to me was when they went live, they go on live, they start talking, and Darcy goes to start saying the drinking game, and she's like, oh, I don't have it in front of me, and I tweet it to her, and she immediately sees it, thanks me, and starts reading it out live. I was like, that was like an alley-oop. That was like me literally helping her in the moment, like a producer almost. It felt so cool.
That is really cool.
Right?
And, oh man, yeah, she's such a sweetheart. I'm gonna be talking with her next week, so
congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That's super really exciting. Fun. It makes me feel cool and important that I'm on like a podcast that she's going to be on. I'm like, oh man, I've made it or whatever,
You're on it. Darcy's going to be on it. Diana Prince and Wayne Klingman was last week's guest. He's an author and he runs a bunch of indie film festivals.
Nice. You're doing real cool things here with the site. I'm super excited for you, but I'm sorry to interrupt. And who else?
Oh, and my dad.
And your dad.
yeah, he is a special effects artist from back in the day, so
right, that's great. I know you had the little hiatus for a little while in November, December, and you're coming back hard. And I think I like to look at this community. Like I messaged you just to give the listeners a little ideas. Like I messaged you 2 months ago because I put mutantfam.com up, and I was like, hey, I know you made Horror Fam a month or two ago. I don't want you to think I'm stepping on your feet or your toes or whatever. I'm not trying to you know what I mean? I didn't want you to think that I was trying to take part of that crowd away or anything. I wanted to make sure that we were in cahoots a little, like we're cousins, like you introduced me as. That's cool. We gotta, we gotta support each other, and rising tides bring us all up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we bought our domains and everything at around the same time, and then we started getting rolling around the same time, and then we were totally unaware of each other until you messaged me, and then oh hey, I just noticed that you have a very similar website.
Right. We're going for the same thing here, so that's super cool. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of growth ahead for both of us. If your 4th interview is Darcy, that's insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. She actually started following me, I guess almost a year ago, just on my personal Instagram. I'm not sure how or why she ended up there, but she's been following me for a while, and then that was before horrorfam.com was even a thing. And then when we got horrorfam.com up, I was like, hey, you might also be interested in this. And then she was like, oh my gosh, I so am.
Right. That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah, you are very active on Twitter, especially at your at HeyYaNew, or I guess some people, don't see the actual Twitter handle and it just shows up as new Heya.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's where this all started from. I'm very active on Twitter. I got into the Mutant Fam and Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy towards, the beginning or third or fourth episode of the first season is when I really started tweeting heavy. And like the community just formed, like I went from 100 followers to 700 followers in like 2 or 3 months just because we all like bumped into each other. We're all like, oh, you're doing this too, and you're doing this too. And like we just all stayed in touch. Even after the Friday live tweets, we would just talk all week long, and I've just stayed super active. And then when I made the site in December, things just blew up. Like I'm nonstop. It's like a second job now. Like I'm sitting here responding to DMs all day and just coordinating through people and scheduling things, scheduling YouTube premieres and our Friday Night Live tweets. And people will reach out to us randomly. Like Killer Horror Critic reached out to us the other day saying, hey, let's do a St. Patrick's Day Leprechaun marathon.
Oh,
Where it
yes,
looked at now.
I think I saw that just this morning.
It was very impromptu. It was very spur of the moment. He had so much fun. I believe his name's Matt. I forget his exact name, but he had so much fun at the Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy thing on Friday that it's like that afterglow you get after a concert or any sort of event where like on Saturday you're like, oh, I want to be with my friends again at that party. What the heck? And you just like immediately want to plan it again. And so he reached out. He looks at it's cool to be looked at like that in the community where like Mutant Theater and Mutant Cafe and myself under the Mutant Fam tag are like the guys who throw live tweets. Like if you want to throw a party online and get a community together, like reach out to them and we'll get it done. Like, and so it's cool that Matt reached out to us to kind of do that together because he has a community too. He has his little group of people. He could have just done it on his own, but it's better to do it together, get a whole huge crowd together and just have a party, especially in the times we're in when they're telling us not to leave home. I like to think that like we're building the future of event coordination. This is going to be a thing. Like this is the very start of communal live tweeting like this. It's not going to get smaller. It's only going to get bigger. And like people are going to throw these huge online film festivals and these huge online comic cons. And these are going to be things that Mutant Fam is on the ground floor of. 10 years from now, when virtual reality events are like all the rage, you better believe we're going to be throwing virtual reality events. It's going to be insane.
I believe it. And yeah, I'll be honest, like the only reason that I'm subscribed to Shudder every month is because of The Last Drive-In. It's like, okay, well, there's not really a whole lot else on Shudder, but The Last Drive-In could be coming back any minute now, and I don't want to miss out on that event.
I'll argue differently that there's a ton on Shudder. I always open once or twice a week.
It is getting better. It is getting better.
I agree that like 2 years ago when I first, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, it was like very sparse. But like now I open it and the new list up top, it's like if I go 2 days, everything is shifted to the side and everything's new again. And I even if it's not a new movie, like even if they throw Return of the Living Dead 3 or whatever up there and it's like everyone is watching it at the same time, I still just think that's a cool communal feeling. Even if it's not literally the same time, you're all watching it within the same week. So you're all kind of tweeting about it and talking about it. So I still, I'm not going to, I know that feeling. I know a lot of people make that statement. Like, I'm just going to unsubscribe till Shudder until Joe Bob comes back. And I'm like,
oh, no,
what are you talking about?
I don't unsubscribe. I stay subscribed, but it's but that was like, that's what I'm waiting for, just like everyone else.
Amen. Yeah, amen. Same here. I can't wait. Although for my benefit and the site's benefit, I'm so glad that they didn't have a Friday the 13th event and that they were willing to work with us. So to go back to that a little bit, when Joe Bob, he got on Instagram and Twitter that Friday afternoon, he was holding like a Jason plush doll. I don't know if you saw that video.
I did see that video.
He said mutantfam.com in that video. He goes, all right, everyone, go to mutantfam.com. That made the site...
That was big for you guys.
Oh, my God. 5,000 people watched the video on Instagram, like 3,000 on Twitter. So my stomach dropped, my heart, like everything was racing. Because my dream since I started the site was that he would mention it on The Last Drive-In. Like he mentioned Tom Denton. He mentioned the fanzine, I believe, once. He's mentioned a few people that I talked to on Twitter. So I'm like, oh, I'm in that crowd. Maybe he's going to see the site and be like, hey, some dude made mutantfam.com. And instead, he literally said it to everyone on Instagram and came and did a show with us. It was 10 times more than I could have ever never imagined.
Oh yeah, what a dream come true. That's awesome.
Right? It was super cool.
Congratulations again.
Thank you so much. It was very validating because it's only been 2 months since the site went up, and you could, obviously, like anyone, you could see the traffic on your site, and I
Yeah.
don't have a blog, so I don't do, well, I do now. My friend Lily runs the blog, but at first we didn't, and that's what usually brings traffic to a site. Like, let's be real, most websites are actually just blogs. They're not websites. And so every day they release a dozen articles about the new Candyman movie or whatever, and they get thousands of people to visit it. But I don't have articles like that. I just have like landing pages with podcasts and YouTube videos. It's more of a streaming service than it is a blog. And so I would go 20 people a day, 50 people a day. We'd have an event like Horror Bowl and we'd hit 200 people. And then Joe Bob says it and we hit 4,000 people in a day just from him saying it.
That's amazing. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it was beyond awesome. It was just, I can't even. It was, to me though, it's like the way I look at it, so I can not, like, there's no way that's going to happen again anytime soon. Right now, that was our Avengers Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Like Black Widow's going to come out in May and it's going to make 700 million, 800 million. It's not going to make 2 billion. And so I got to accept that Joe Bob and Darcy was my end game. And now I got to go down to those little projects again that kind of keep us sustaining. And then maybe a year or two from now, we'll have another huge thing like that. But obviously I don't expect for it to happen often.
Gotta have a few Spider-Man movies and
yeah, exactly. You gotta have the little sprinkles in between that trying to change the world every time.
Well, well, my next question was gonna be, well, what's next? But
no. I'll speak about what's next. That's a great question.
Okay.
To sustain what we do is Friday Night Frights. It's a mixture of a live tweet hosted by Mutant Theater, which we do a poll for every Monday, and then Mutant Cafe comes up and does a live cook-along, and then we watch a few more movies throughout the night. We'll usually have one planned through Mutant Cafe, and then after that, we do Midnight Marathon every Friday at midnight. So you go to mutantfam.com/marathon, you click play, and we just stream movies all night long. I just choose a bunch of public domain films that I'm allowed to stream. So this week we're doing a space theme. I got Plan 9 from Outer Space and Warning from Space or Danger from Space and Battle of the Worlds. And so every week we pick a theme and we just have a live tweet and then a streaming video all night after midnight. And so if you follow Mutant Fam and you follow Mutant Theater, that's our main thing, and Mutant Cafe. And then really, I'm partnered with a bunch of YouTube channels, Video Creep, Survivors Guild, TYTD Reviews, my buddy Ditlev Buster, and they do YouTube premieres all the time. So we schedule them. We try to schedule them on Thursdays where we all just show up on YouTube and chat. So it's not even necessarily like we advertise it on the site, but it's not only the site. It's more the community and where we end up hanging out at any given time. Let's go hang out at YouTube now and chat. Let's go hang out on Twitter and live tweet. Oh, snap. The Joe Bob Discord is having an event on Saturday. Let's do the Discord double feature. So it's not just the site. It's kind of the group of us just kind of going from app to app and taking advantage of that platform in a different way, whether it's a podcast or a video or chat.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's a party all the time with you Mutant Fam people.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way of putting it. We just try to stay in constant contact. So that way, if someone again, the Leprechaun thing, it was like, hey, what are you guys doing Tuesday? I don't know. Let's do this. Cool. We'll make it happen. Some things we plan a week or 2 or 3 weeks in advance. Other things like my friend Lily, she did Lily's Lab last Friday where she live tweeted Friday the 13th, 1 through 3. That was spur of the moment. And we got like 6 people to show up. That's cool. 6 people at 10 in the morning watching movies together. Like, we're not trying to promote everything or push everything as being a big event. It's kind of about catching people where they are and like being available to be part of the community. Because I mean, that's what Joe Bob taught us. That's what Darcy taught us with Mutant Fam. They taught us that you can be with each other separately and then stay in communication with each other constantly and support each other as like a group of weirdos. It has nothing to do with horror movies at this point. It has nothing to do with drive-in movies at this point. It's like, that's going to be the story we tell about how we began. But at this point, we're a community of people that just like kind of like talking to each other and kind of like supporting each other in times of need.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And like, I don't want to get deep into like current events, but like I do feel like we're positioned in a way that normal average people aren't. Like, they're gonna sit at home and be like going crazy in a week. Like, where are my friends? Where are my family? I'm not doing anything. I'm stuck at home. My whatever. And I'm gonna be like, all my friends are online already. I'm seeing everyone I normally see.
Yeah, well, I haven't left the house since February 13th, so
Right? I mean, I go to the supermarket occasionally. I work from home. My hobbies are from home. I read comics and I live tweet with people. I mean, now I'm going to stock up on food for 2, 3 weeks to a month. What am I leaving for? All the restaurants, bars, gyms, and theaters in New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey were just ordered to shut down today. So
oh
I don't
yeah,
got nowhere to go.
same here in California and in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's scary. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, like we're, the normal people are gonna be going a little nuts.
Uh-huh.
The mutant family is just like, this is fine.
We're literally planning our St. Patrick's Day party. As every St. Patrick's Day parade and party in America is being canceled, we're literally starting to plan ours. It is the future of event coordination. Wizard World, they throw Comic Cons all over the country, and they had to cancel all of them, obviously. And I woke up the other morning having an idea about online Comic Cons, and then I get online and it's like Wizard World doing online events to, supplement the fact that they're canceled. I was like, damn it, I knew it was a good idea, but they're going to run with it. So this is a thing. This is going to change the way that a lot of people do business in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I like it.
Yeah, me too. So that's what we have coming up.
I mean, a little less plague would be good, but the staying at home and enjoying each other from a distance part, I'm good with that.
Right. And you just got to find, fun ways to get through it. Like, and I think that the live tweets and the chatting in YouTube and the just hanging out and having a community outside of the physical outside world will help a lot of people get through it mentally. Physically, you have to have you have to be prepared in different ways. But I think the biggest issue is getting through it mentally. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago that was like, to prepare for this, you don't necessarily need to get water and toilet paper. You just need to mentally prepare to be indoors for a month. I was like, oh, snap, I'm ready. I'm good. We're good. Lauren's ready.
I am very ready.
Yeah. Like, I was the kid at home sitting on a computer reading comics from the time I was 12 to the time I was 17 or something. Like, I didn't go outside, and my mom would try and get me to go outside. And now I'm the one prepared.
Yep. Yeah, this past weekend I was just playing Graveyard Keeper on my PC, and then, my family and I were playing zombie dice this is what we do every weekend anyway, so.
Right, and that's another important thing, to be close with your family, to have a pleasant relationship with your family. You live with your in-laws, right? Or is it your parents?
They're my parents, yeah.
Your parents, exactly. So, it's important to have a close relationship with your parents, whether it's with your siblings, your husband, your kids. If you're going to be stuck at home, you can't be like on each other's nerves or whatever. And it's like, you got to be pleasant with each other. You got to be happy. You got to be fine with playing video games and board games and watching movies. And I think in the long run, like, if taken advantage of in the right way, this could be a fun thing. We get off from work and school for 3 weeks. That's like ideal if it weren't for the fact that we couldn't go outside because there's a deadly virus everywhere.
Yeah. And the lack of income can be a little worrying too. But
no, I know. Like, I forget if I said it on the podcast or while we were talking, but my wife isn't going to be working because she's a teacher. So that's a little nerve wracking, but I work from home. Thank God.
Yeah. And when you're stuck at home, there's not really much of anything other than essentials that you have to save money for anyway, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I got my cold cuts and some meats frozen and stuff, and I'm not going out to the deli and the pizza place every day now.
Yeah, my family and we've all been taking turns cooking and, just making things from scratch, and some recipes have turned out better than others, but it's fun, getting creative in the kitchen.
Right. That's cool. So the other thing, just to get back to mutant stuff, I haven't officially announced this yet, but I was going to try and do it sometime this week. The big thing we're going to work towards next, because I don't want to, like I said, there's not going to be big things back to back to back, but I want to do next Friday the 13th, November 13th, I want to do something called Mutant Palooza, just a 2-day film festival where I want to make it a real film festival, not like we're just live tweeting old movies that we all play at the same time. I'm going to have filmmakers submit their movies like they would to Fantastic Fest or Cannes or whatever. And Friday night, I want to do a live tweet like we normally do. We'll do Friday the 13th, part 7 or something, and, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, whatever we want to do. And then Saturday, all day long, I want to screen films on the site that were submitted by filmmakers. You know, I want to have an actual film festival on the site. So we're going to make a big announcement about it, but this is kind of, I mean, you're releasing this on the 20th, so maybe I'll wait till the 20th to make this announcement.
Ooh, yes, please.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go hand in hand. I'll push everyone to come listen to this and make the announcement at the same time. And we're going to be requesting filmmakers to go to mutantfam.com/mutantpalooza. I'll put this all over Twitter to submit your films, and that's going to be our next big thing. Squee Projects is going to curate it. She made the documentary Squee Fu, Fans Celebrate Joe Bob Briggs, and then my buddy Video Creep is going to host it, and we're going to just have a fun 2-day film festival.
Are you taking the digital film submissions through mutantfam.com then? You're not using like a third-party site like Film Freeway or?
No, they won't. So I tried to use Film Freeway. They will not allow, you have to have a physical location. You have to have your festival to be in an actual theater. So that was the first thing I looked at, because I figured that would be awesome to just have third party get the film sent to us. But because we're doing it all digital, I kind of got to ask to have them submitted privately through the site, because no one else will help me. But again, I think this is the beginning of something. The fact that Film Freeway has on their website a disclaimer that says you have to be on a physical location, next year they're not. I promise you, next year they're not.
Yeah,
like
especially
next year,
with
this
so
is gonna
many.
Be a thing.
Yeah, because so many of the film festivals on Film Freeway are having to shut their doors because of the virus. Mm-hmm. So they're going to end up losing a lot of money not allowing people with online venues to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, so it's going to be a thing where, like, South by Southwest is saying they don't know if they're going to be able to go on next year, like, because they're losing so much money. That's crazy to me. I've been to South by Southwest a bunch of times, and then I moved from Austin back to New York this year, and the thing that I was saddest about was Alamo Drafthouse and South by Southwest. And now the moment the next one was supposed to happen, a deadly disease cancels it. And so I'm like, oh, it was meant to be. I left and they can't even have it anymore. They're like, we're going to cancel it for everyone if Frank can't enjoy it. Is at least how I like to look at it. But I do feel it feels shitty. But yeah, similarly, all these other festivals, unfortunately, are going to be hit by a huge financial burden. And like, they're going to have to do something digitally online, or they're going to not be able to do next year at all. And again, we are on the leading edge of what the future of event coordination is, or event planning is. It's going to be digital. It's going to be online, and everyone is going to accept it in a year or two.
I love it. I'm here for
it. Absolutely. And I'm so happy. So this is my second podcast I've done. The first was with Garagerama. They're some amazing dudes and one girl, Katie, I think her name was. And I felt like when I did that podcast, it was like very basic, bare bones. Like I was still like, it was 3 weeks into having made the site. I was still trying to sort it all out. And here I am 2 months later, and I got these grandiose ideas now. And who knows if they're going to happen. I don't like to sound like, I want to be believing in all of them all, but I don't want to sound super like into it. Like, I know we're going to be super successful. We're going to make all these huge things happen, but I would hope we are,
I think you will. I mean, you've done so much in just the past 2 months. So I think you'll be fine.
Right. As long as we all stick at it. I think consistency is the most important thing. Just sticking to it every week, every day.
Yeah, I mean, I went on the Voices of Misery podcast back in October, and we didn't really have a whole lot going on. It's like, oh, I wish I could go back on now.
Yeah, exactly. So you know the feeling. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's funny.
Well, I know that you're a little short on time today, so I guess we should wrap up for now. But I'd love to have you back, maybe closer to the Mutant Palooza, and get an update on that, since your big reveal update of the event is on this show, and then we can catch up with how that's going in a few months.
I dig that. I like that a lot. Maybe we could make that like a plan to like maybe catch up like once in the middle and once right towards when it's going to happen. Like maybe one time in the middle of the summer or something, I'll update you on what's going on. And then right before the event, we'll hype it up or something.
That sounds great.
This is awesome. You rock.
Thank you. So do you. Okay, everyone. Follow Frank at HeyYaNew. That's HeyYAH NEW. That's on Twitter. Or you can follow him at mutant_fam, as in FAM, like family. And
I'm glad you spelled that out. I was looking at an Instagram post of Darcy's Diana's the other day, and someone's like mutantfan FAN.com. There is no mutantfan.com. I was like, no, FAM, like Michael.
That happens to us all the time too, since we're horrorfam.com, and it's like horror fan? No, like family.
That's awesome. I'm glad you get it too.
Oh yeah, all the time. And Frank's website, of course, mutantfam, as in family.com, and go check that out.
Lauren, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you online, and I'm sure we'll be talking in person again soon.
Okay. Talk to you soon, Frank, who is not my husband, but my online cousin. My husband's also named Frank. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. It's Lauren again, and pretty exciting news from Frank at mutantfam.com. I hope that you enjoyed the episode and that you'll keep in touch with Frank and me, of course, and see what's going on with the Mutant Palooza in November. In the meantime, if you want to look fabulous while social distancing, please check out our sponsor, Moonglow Jewelry, and use our affiliate link if you decide to buy any of their awesome glow-in-the-dark moon phase jewelry. That's bit.ly, capital M on Moonglow, HF. Capital H, capital F. So bit.ly/moonglow with a capital M, capital H, capital F. bit.ly Moonglow HF, and if you buy any of their jewelry, you'll be helping to support horrorfam.com because we get a percentage as an affiliate. So good luck out there, and I hope you find something that makes you smile. Until next time.